All right, all right, all right. Welcome and good evening to our Facebook family. I am Crystal Davis, your host for tonight's The Business of Books here on Facebook, and we have an author that is amazing, an amazing work of God's art. Yes, she is Miss Lindsay Walker. And so, Lindsay, what I want to do is just say welcome to you, and thank you so much for taking the time to talk to our KBN cousins over there, and then to come here and talk to and share your journey with the Facebook family. And so, what I like to do is just give everybody a few minutes to come inside and give them a few minutes to transition over. Most of them come from the KBN part over here from Clubhouse to here, and so we just want to give them a minute to transition over. But for those that are already here, we want to say welcome to you. This is the Facebook, the business of books with Beyond the Book Media. And so we are so thankful that you are here. We speak with indie authors and we get their journey. We talk about the trials and tribulations and even the triumphs. And so we are so glad that you're here. If you are an indie author or you desire to write or you have a desire to publish your own book, Beyond the Book Media is your place. And this is where you want to be. So we say welcome to each and every one of you that are joining us. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I would like to also ask you if you want to drop your comments so that Miss Lindsay Walker and myself can see them. Please go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that your comments will be live on this side of the screen so that we can acknowledge you. We want to acknowledge you as you come in. Please drop your name. Tell us where you're from. But please go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that we can see your name. And when you come in, please say hello to our author of the evening, Miss Lindsay Walker.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. I'm extremely grateful and excited. We just had an awesome time, like you said, with our Kingdom cousins over at KBN. And now I'm grateful to be over here.
Wow, it is amazing. We'll just give people a few more minutes and then I'll just welcome people again and we'll go right into the questions. We don't want to hold you long because we know you've been talking all night. So we want to make sure we get to it and give them what they come seeking each and every Tuesday evening at 9 o'clock. And so we want to do that, but we'll give them a few more minutes just to come on over and then we'll get started.
Sounds good.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to those that have joined us. We do appreciate your time in the business of books tonight with Beyond the Book Media's Facebook page. We are so excited to have our author of the evening, Miss Lindsay Walker, and she's going to be talking to us about her book, The Author of Thriving Through the Storm. And so I just am excited to hear more and more about this book. I will be giving you a little bit of synopsis about who this queen is and all that she does and parts of her journey. And then we'll ask Lindsay a few questions and allow her to elaborate as much as she feels and give you whatever Holy Spirit gives her to share. So I am truly excited. Again, this is Beyond the Book of Media's The Business of Books on this Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. on your Facebook channel. We want you to go ahead and go to streamyard.com/Facebook so that whatever comments you're placing on Facebook, we can see them here in StreamYard and both myself and Miss Lindsay can comment. Hello, Miss Carla. How are you? Welcome, Carla. We appreciate you this evening. Thank you for joining us. We'll give people like one more minute and then we'll jump right in. There's so much about Lindsay. I just cannot wait to share what I see on my page about Miss Lindsay and then allow her the opportunity to really just delve in and tell us more about who she is and the many hats that she wears so well. And so we want to hear about that so that we too can learn how to walk with many hats on. And so I'm excited. How exciting is this?
Yes, so grateful. So
Yeah,
grateful.
this is going to be cool. How exciting is this?
Yes, so grateful. So grateful.
All right, we are here at 9:05. Let's see. Let's see what we want to do. Let's go here. Hey, there we go. Let's see. Oh, Miss Lindsay, we have people joining. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited. I am your host for the evening, Crystal Davis, one of the coaches with Beyond the Book Media. You are now in the Beyond the Book Media, the business of books. We do this frequently on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. And so we are so glad that you joined to show support of and support in Miss Lindsay Walker, who we have as our author, our indie author and guest on this evening. She is the author of Thriving Through the Storm. I know this is going to be good. You are here in, I always be wanting to say KBM, but you are here in the Beyond the Book Media's Facebook page, and we are talking about the business of books. If you are an indie author, you know someone that is on the journey of writing or desires to do so. Beyond the Book Media will possibly be a good fit for them, and so let them know that we are here. Tell them to come on in and join in the conversation. So again, Miss Lindsay, I say welcome, welcome, welcome. I have had the privilege of listening to you on KBN and Clubhouse during the weekdays, and you are such a treat. So I wanted to say that to you. I love your gifting, and I just love your aura, even through the phone when I'm listening through to you in the mornings. And so I'll open up and allow you to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do not pick up. I have a little bio over here. I'll grab a few other nuggets and share them with our audience, but feel free to go right ahead and tell us about yourself.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much already for that awesome and amazing introduction. It is truly an honor to be here tonight. My name is Lindsay Walker. I am the author of Thriving Through the Storm, which is my personal journey, story, testimony of being a stage 4 cancer survivor and what I had to endure while going through that journey, 6 months of chemotherapy, and what that looked like for me during and afterwards. In addition to being the author of Diving Through the Storm, I'm also the CEO and lead publicist for Walker and Associates Media Group, which is a publicity firm that works with businesses, those that are in various industries to help them get more visibility and recognition for their books, their products, and their services.
Oh, wow. And so, let me tell you all, family, a little bit, my Facebook family, let me tell you a little bit more about Miss Lindsay. She holds a bachelor's of art. She was summa cum laude in communications and marketing from Jackson State University. I'm sorry, the
Yes,
Jackson
the
State
Jackson.
University. The Jackson State University. And she has penned her personal testimony, Thriving Through the Storm, to inspire women to listen to themselves, their bodies, and God to find their way through their life's toughest tragedies. And what I love about your bio is that it says Lindsay is the brilliance and boss moves behind Walker and Associates Media Group, an elite public relations agency for innovators, creatives, and taste makers in beauty, lifestyle, and entertainment. If that is you, you want to reach out to Miss Lindsay, and we'll give you all her social media handles in the end. Good evening, Jacinta, and welcome. With a superpower of driving visibility and cultural clout through the digital media, she and her top tier team deliver results for clients worldwide, from Atlanta, get this, to the UK. So if you're trying to go across the waters, this is the one who you want to talk to. This is who you want to be connected to. What I love about Beyond the Book Media and this platform is that they want to make sure that you get the best of the best. And I will say Lindsay is the best. It says, having worked alongside some of the most legendary brands in media, including Interscope Records, National Geographic, and FX networks, Lindsay has done in a few years what some publicists don't do in their entire careers. Come on, Holy Spirit. Thank you, God.
Yeah.
Her campaigns have garnered more than 2.6 million media impressions globally and have been seen in the New York Times, Forbes, CBS This Morning, ABC, and InStyle magazine. And I'm only naming a few, so you can go ahead and clap her up for those few. A resume like this is no easy feat for most, which is why success like this is only reserved for women like her. They said the personification of strength and tenacity. I love that. Lindsay, she told you that she was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at 27. She defied all odds by fighting pain with passion. Relentless about her legacy, Lindsay emerged with an even gutsier vision of her life and to change the publicity game. Driven by an energy of excellence, Lindsay created a company that has mastered the art of bringing must know brands to the forefront, leveraging her signature buzz building blueprint. She and her team use publicity to elevate clients from influential to iconic. And that is what I needed all of you to hear. I know she was being modest, but I need you to know the whole thing about Miss Lindsay and what she brings to the table. Not only is she going to talk to us tonight about fighting through a storm that some of us have never had to endure, and we have some have watched others endure. She's going to give us that, but I needed you to know the holistic, the totality of who this woman is, this kingdom woman is, and how she became who she is. So I hope that she'll share a little bit more about that. But our first question or first statement, I guess I would say, is tell us about your book.
Yes. So thriving through the storm is definitely just a labor, really. I was going to say a labor of love, but honestly, it's more so a labor of obedience. Um, God sent D. Chanel E. Martin, even as I was going through my diagnosis, to say, hey, I see you with this book. I see you with this book cover. She literally prophesied this book cover to me at a time where I was like, girl, no, like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm just trying to get through chemotherapy. I'm just trying to grow my hair back. Glory to God. I'm just trying to do all the things, right, to keep it moving. But thriving through the storm is an act of, being obedient to God, and really just allowing Him to process me during this journey.
Wow. That's a beautiful statement. Allowing God to process you through the journey. So many give up on the process. They just want the final product, or they just want to, be presented well, but they don't want the process of getting there through the storm. And so I really appreciate you sharing that. Hello, Nikisa. Hello, how are you? Everybody's joining in support. I love it. And so it says here, it says, imagine being an entrepreneur, creating your own opportunities and building the dream life that you've always wanted, only to be hit with a major blow, diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at the age of 27. And just to pull a little bit from there, what was that feeling? What did that feel like? I know what you're writing in the book, but what did that initially feel like when you heard that?
Oh my gosh. That was a shocker. It definitely, I mean, honestly, when the doctor initially gave the diagnosis, I didn't even know what he meant. Like, because the way that they said it was like, oh, you have, we figured it out, right? You have Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I'm like, okay. And my mother was in the room with me, and she's like, are you understanding what they're saying? And I'm like, no. And she's like, cancer. And my heart just, oh my gosh, right? Because here I am, young, for all that I knew, healthy, and getting hit with that was just like, my God, like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what it looked like. I didn't know anything. And so it definitely was a mic drop moment in my life.
Oh, wow. And so tell me, in this book, what do you share? Do you share all the challenges and the triumphs, or how is this book written for those that want to support and go and purchase it? Tell us a little bit about what's inside your book.
Yeah, so the way that the book is written is like a conversational piece. I start off introducing myself. I let you know who I am, what I've done, what like makes me credible, right? To talk
Mhm.
about these things. And then I go into imagine going through this type of diagnosis. I walk you through the moment prior to my diagnosis. I walk you through the moment prior to everything, and also what happened in the diagnosis. I take you through the journey of what going through that 6 months of chemotherapy looked like for me losing my hair, how I felt. I take you through the journey of what that looked like with me being an entrepreneur, because I think like that's important for people to know, is that as an entrepreneur, I never stopped working during my entire diagnosis and, going through chemo, because I couldn't stop working. And so I take you through all of that. And it's very much so in the same way that you and I are talking and having a conversation, is the same way that I wrote the book. I wanted it to be relatable. I wanted you to be able to cry with me when I was crying. I wanted you to be able to, laugh with me, because I have a little bit of like, I have an interesting sense of humor, but I wanted you to be able to laugh with me when I was laughing, all of those things. And so that's exactly how I wrote it.
Oh wow, how beautiful. A conversation with the journey. I know
Yeah.
that it has to be beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And I want to say I'm so glad that you had someone there with you at that moment when you realized what Hodgkin's lymphoma really meant, because we don't hear that. We just hear cancer all the time. Is not until you really talk to someone that they really put a stamp on it or a name on it to tell you the different types of cancers that's out there. But I really appreciate that, and having that perspective on life, love, and friendship, relationship, and all of those things I could imagine came to the forefront of your mind. Like, okay, so what does that mean? And then we know about the different stages, and people digest that a little different, but depending on what stage they're say. Sometimes they say stage one and people breathe a sigh of relief, but when they go to any stage higher than that, people kind of get in a panic mode. Did you find yourself panicking once you really registered it and digested it and mulled over it? Did you find yourself in a panic mode, or was it automatically, let me just go to God who knows all things? Or what was that process
No,
like?
I definitely panicked. That's, I talk about that in the book. That was one of the things that I said, is like, what about, my kids? Mind you, I'm single. I don't have children, but these are things that you think about when you hear
Yes.
stage 4, right?
Right.
Cancer. And so, no, I didn't go to God, like, hey, I know you got this. I was like, look, you got to do something. I don't know what you're about to do, but you have to do something, because I mean, it was, like I said, it was a shocker.
Wow. Wow. Well, let me say hello. We have many others that have joined us, and so we want to say welcome this evening to the
Well,
Beyond the Book Media, the business of books. I am Crystal Davis, your host of the evening, and we are speaking with our author, Lindsay Walker. She is the author of Thriving Through the Storm, and she has told us and shared with us some things about her book and how she came to write her book and the meaning behind the writing. I want to invite you, if you have comments or you would like to share or even ask questions near the end, please join us on StreamYard.com /Facebook, so that Lindsay and myself can see your comments on this side, because we are using the StreamYard platform and we can't see on Facebook at this moment. But please do go to StreamYard.com /Facebook so that we can see your comments and we can acknowledge you as you join us in the conversation. And by the way, hello, Miss Catherine Willard. Welcome and thank you for joining us. And so, Lindsay, my next question is, and you kind of already touched on it. It said, "What inspired you to write your book?" And and I know it's your personal journey of your going through this journey of stage 4 cancer and diagnosis and the chemotherapy and all of that. But even people go through that and still don't want to write about it. What really was that thing that tugged on you outside of Chanel and her prophecy? That's
Oh, really? I mean, that was kind of like the catalyst to
okay.
me
Okay.
sitting down thinking and saying, like, okay, God, like, I have always had the gift of writing. I love writing. I have a journal from the time I was 8 all the way up until now. So I have a lot of journals. And
Wow.
I'm like, God, this is what you want me to write about? Like, this is the book, like the first one that you want me to come out with? And the answer was yes, because I came to terms with the fact that, by me being obedient and sharing my story, that there's a healing, right, that's
Mhm.
attached to it. And even with me writing the book and me going through that process at the time, this was when Beyond the Book Media had the 21-day challenge.
Okay.
So I was in there for 21 days writing for at least like 2 hours. And so, um, going through that process was healing for me. And God just did it. So that's really what inspired the book, was Chanel saying like, hey, I think you should do this. And I thought about it. I'm like, well, you know what, I'll do it because it probably is going to be very therapeutic for me, and I'm not going to put it out there. I'm not going to share anything with anybody. It's just going to sit in my computer. That was my thought process. So that's
But
how,
God.
yeah, but God, right?
Wow, how beautiful. And I have learned in journeying through things of my own that um God is one that when he wants us to tell the authentic about the authentic journey, he allows us to go through it with the understanding that he is there. Now that may not be our initial thought, but in
Exactly.
the journey, in the process, as he loves you through it, as he um encourages you in the healing through whatever your journey may be, it's a beautiful thing for you to know that he chose you to for the journey so that you can help somebody else through the journey. It is just a beautiful love story, I would say, of how he said, well, I think Lindsay can handle it, so I'll take Lindsay and take Lindsay through this journey, and then I'll get her to write a book so that her book can go across the waters to the UK or what have you, and help other women through the same thing. Because as you know, this is October's breast cancer awareness month, so there's always some type of cancer throughout the year that's being notarized or whatever, and so we want to make sure that people know that there's somebody that's gone through it, and what better way than to put it in a book, because books go everywhere. So who that leads me into this question, to segue into this one, who is your book for?
Yeah, so thriving through the storm is for the thriver in all of us. So maybe you're not going through a cancer diagnosis. I get it. That's not everybody's story, but it's for, the woman who is battling certain challenges and obstacles. It's for the woman that's an ambitious, go getter, and she sees so much vision for her life, but sometimes she may get lost in that. It's for the woman that's, getting ready to go through a bankruptcy, or getting ready to go through a
Mhm.
divorce, or whatever your particular storm may be. Like, I wrote this book for any and everyone to know that you can thrive through the storm, that thriving is a choice, and we are not defined by our storms or what our circumstances are.
I love that we are not defined by our storm. I like to write down little nuggets when people say
Yes.
defined by our storms. So let me ask you this question, and because your book is has this in the title, thriving. What is thriving? What does that look like for the one who may not be going through cancer, or may not even know what they're going through? They know they're going through something, and there is there is the other side. And how do I get there? How do I push? How do I thrive to get to there from here?
Yeah, so thriving looks like making a decision every single day, making a choice every single day. I'm going to get up. I'm going to pray for those of us that are believers. I'm going to journal. I'm going to fast. I'm going to seek God consistently with whatever it is that I need to seek Him for. I'm going to make a decision and a choice not to allow the noise that's around me, not to allow anyone else's words, anyone else's thought processes, anyone else's mindset to permeate my own and to taint it. I'm going to stay here in my lane. I'm going to stay right where it is that God has me for the moment. And I'm going to choose to see the beauty in all of it, even if all around me, everybody's trying to tear me apart. Even if life is just trying to tear me apart, I'm going to stay right here. That's what thriving is.
Wow. I have to write that down. I think I even need to type that in the chat for those that may not see. Yes. choose to see the beauty in all of. Wow. That was it for me. Choose to see the beauty in all of it. That is really thriving when I make a decision that, like you said, no matter what it looks like, no matter who believes in it or not, no matter who believes I'm strong enough to get through it, no matter who the naysayers are, even sometimes our supporters, because some of them support half-heartedly and sometimes they support it in the full, but whatever their level that they can give, I'm going to give 100% regardless, to myself, to this journey. And as I often hear in prophetic planning for your day, lean into that situation. And I'm going to say, okay, it wouldn't be a choice that I made, but because I'm here, I'm going to find out what it is. I know I possess something to get to there. So let me tap into that so that I can get there and I can thrive through this situation. And on the other side of there, I get to reach back and grab somebody else. That is so beautiful. For those of you, our numbers are still going up. For those of you that are just joining, we have the lovely Miss Lindsay Walker, who is sharing snippets about her book, Thriving Through the Storm, that she wrote during her cancer journey, that she was able to triumph, be victorious over. And so she has shared some tidbits with us about who her book is for, what the basis was, what caused the book to come to fruition, and how her circle helped her to make it through. And so welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Beyond the Book Media's The Business of Books, every Tuesday evening at 9 p.m. And we are so thankful that you are here. If you would like to comment, please go to StreamYard.com/Facebook so that Miss Lindsay can see your comments and therefore she can respond. And so, so the next question is, let's see what we have here. What are the top 3 takeaways you would like your readers to walk away with? Those that purchase the book, read the book, may not be experiencing cancer, but what is it, something that you feel like anybody can take away from this book, the top 3?
Absolutely. So, number one would be, as I just mentioned, that thriving is a choice. Because it really is, like, each and every day we have to make that decision.
Yes.
Number two, understanding that you are not defined by your circumstance. So I was not defined by, at the time being a cancer patient or going through chemotherapy or losing my hair or any of these things. I was defined by how I chose to respond to those
Ooh.
moments, by how I chose to pray through those moments, by how I chose. Well, I wasn't fasting at that time because I already didn't have an appetite, but how I chose to, just be surrounded by love and community during that time. So that would be number two. And number three, choose to have faith. That, like, those are some of the major takeaways. Choose to have faith regardless to what your situation looks like.
Mm. Now you're gonna see that quote of um, don't be defined by the situation, but be defined by how you respond. That's going to be a quote on my Facebook page. So I just want you to know that I will be, but it will be there tomorrow. Okay. That's going to be my wisdom nugget. That's going to be my wisdom nugget for Wednesday. I just need you to know that ahead of
Absolutely.
time. And that's beautiful because there's a difference between responding and reacting. And reacting causes things to go to another level. When you choose to sit back, like you said, and decide, okay, so what can I do to be victorious in this moment? What can I do to push myself forward? What can I do to just get up today? It's going to take a little extra strength, but I need to get up. I need to put forth every effort that I can, because in those moments of cancer, I've heard that people get weak and all of those things, but I just, even if it's just I'm gonna sit up in the bed today because I've been laying down all day yesterday, that moment that you make a choice to respond to the situation, but to respond in faith.
Absolutely. 100%.
mm, Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That blessed me. So now is the opportunity we have. It's about 9:30. If you have any questions for Miss Lindsay regarding her book, about her journey or anything like that, please by all means put your comments in the place your questions in the comment section, and so that we can answer your questions, or that she can answer your questions. And so, Miss Lindsay, just talk a little bit more about being in that journey, being in that moment, walking through each and every day, saying, what was there any type of motto? Was there a favorite scripture that you used? Was it something that anchored you? I know you had your village and things of that nature, but was there anything that really anchored you to say, Lindsay, you got this, you're gonna be okay? Besides the people that's your support and your and those things, what was it that anchored you each morning you opened your eyes? What did you say that anchored you to know that today's gonna be okay? I'm gonna get through this too.
Um, I really think that it was just like I truly have a relationship with God, and I love Him, and I am grateful for even prior to those moments. Like I've always had a relationship with God ever since I was a little girl, and so for me, and I shared this in Clubhouse, but for some reason today, I have just been getting downloads even as I'm speaking, and even as I'm speaking, I'm getting them now. So, what really helped was I had to look at God differently. I had
Mhm.
to look at God as my healer, but I also had to really lean on Him, and that, like, He's always been my Father. But I think a lot of times when you go through certain things in your life with family structures and roles and all of that, it can sometimes be difficult to see God as your Father. But in that moment, Jesus, in that moment, I literally had to go to God like my father, like a little girl, like, hey, God, I need you to help me. I had to give Him my heart. I had to just totally be in full surrenderance to God and what He wanted to do. And this is something I talk about in the book. When everything happened, I remember because I had to go back to the hospital for something, and it was late at night. Sometimes hospitals can be just really kind of scary, especially if you're at night and you're by yourself. And I was by myself in the room, and I stood up and I was just crying out to God. And I said, God, I don't know what you want to do with this. And I said, I don't understand it. And I don't like it. But I said, God, if I am going to walk through this, because at that time I knew what the diagnosis was and what was required. So in terms of treatment, so I said, God, if I am going to walk through this, I need you to be with me. I need you to hold my hand. I need to walk out clean. I need to walk out unscathed. I need you to be with me like you were with Job, like you were with Daniel in the lion's den, like you were with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. That was literally my prayer. And I will never forget that. And that was, He honored it. And
Wow.
yeah, He honored that. And I will not say that I had the easiest road, but I will say that I felt the hand of God in my journey as at that time, cancer patient and having to go through chemotherapy. Absolutely.
Wow. That just blessed me. Man, I tell you, I was just on social media the other day, and I I received a download about, my husband said something, and something just dropped in me that said, I thought about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and I said to people, you need to tell the devil that he don't want no smoke. He don't want it, because three went in, and it don't matter how hot the fire got. They understood that whatever you do to me, he already said it was okay. I'm gonna come out this thing, and I see you as that same individual. And is that not? I can think right now, Lindsay, of the depiction when you see the people have the pack of cats go inside, and then they come out like wolves, and
Yeah.
that is exactly what I saw when you said that. Like, you walk in as a little kid and a little cat, but you come out a wolf, because, or lioness, you come out with strength because you've gone through. And I really thank you for being so vulnerable in the moment to even write your journey and write your story. And I will support, but I have not read, I get little clips and stuff, but
Yeah.
it is a beautiful thing to hear you speak about it, to have you here to talk about it. It's such a beautiful, beautiful experience. But so many people, um, I don't think okay. And so many people do not understand that it's all about how you go through the journey. That is just as important as getting to the end, or the end of the process, is how you choose to go through the journey. And it is definitely a choice. Would you agree there that you have to make a choice to go through this journey,
Yeah.
and understand that better is on the other side, whatever better is. And so
Yes.
I think that's a beautiful thing. That is so beautiful. So I'm going to ask our audience, do you have any questions for Lindsay pertaining to her journey, her being a publicist, how you can reach her? We'll get to that at the end. We'll give you some of her social media platforms and handles so that you can follow her and be a part of her journey as a publicist and a media mogul and all of those things there. Yes. Give her a few minutes. She wanted to fix her camera a little bit. But thank you all for staying with us. If you have questions or you would like to ask anything or share your thoughts, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook and drop your comments in. Yes. This has been a very, 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 very good um, conversation. So tell me, Lindsay, where can people find your book and support you with?
Yes. So you can go to Amazon and click Amazon.com, click directly into the search bar, type in Thriving Through the Storm, and you can get the book there.
Oh, wow. So go ahead, go to Amazon.com, everyone, and put in the search bar Thriving Through the Storm. Make sure you select the one that's by Lindsay Walker. And then you go, that is how you can support the journey. And this month, as we celebrate breast cancer, although her cancer was different, this is a beautiful time to support and pour into someone who went through the journey and can tell the story about the journey and how to get on the other side by thriving and pushing through whatever your storm may be. And so that is a beautiful thing. So please, Amazon.com, and you can search for Thriving Through the Storm by Miss Lindsay Walker. Please go out and support. Is there anything else you wanted to add before we take questions or anything like that? Was there anything that you wanted to share that maybe I did not ask?
No, I am just grateful to be here. Such a pleasure, such an honor. And that's pretty much all I have.
Okay. And Nikisa has kindly dropped the link inside um, the chat for those of you that want to go ahead and purchase the book. We are so thankful for Ms. Lindsay. I do have a couple of questions. So you said that you were in the Beyond the Book Media Challenge,
Yeah.
and you were there even as you were going through the storm. And so tell me how was that journey? What was that like?
Yes, so I did the 21-day challenge, which is what Beyond the Book Media had at the time. And it was
Mhm.
right after I finished treatment. And so that journey was very therapeutic for me.
Wow.
It was very, very just an interesting time where God really was like right there with me. Holy Spirit was right there with me, giving me the words to say at times. There are some things in the book I look back and I'm like, I wrote that, like, oh wow. So it was just a very, very beautiful time for me to have the opportunity to process how I felt because I share with people a lot that when I was going through the diagnoses, I uh, I didn't really I was focused on that particular journey, which was healing. So I didn't really focus on like being emotional or anything like that. But afterwards, it was just like
Wow.
somebody turned on the waterworks, and I was just, and so writing the book allowed me to really just process all of those emotions, all of those feelings. It was a great like release for me. So that was what the journey was like.
Oh wow. And so I tell people that even whatever your journey is that you go through, it doesn't necessarily have to be cancer. There is what I call a cleansing process, a grieving process. You
Yes.
still go through those same stages as everybody else go through, the anger, the this, the that, and then you get the understanding and you come to acceptance and you move on through to healing and all of those things. But that is definitely a part of the process. And so then you went on to publish with Beyond the Book Media, and so you got to work with the team that works on the back end, Miss Jacinta and others. What was that process like?
Um, yeah, I would definitely say that in terms of like going through all of the various things within, the challenge, I was just sharing in the uh-oh, did I lose you?
No, you're here.
Okay. I was just sharing on Clubhouse, like I was one of the very first Beyond the Book Media clients. So when it comes to going through, and I want to call it the boot camp, but it wasn't a boot camp, the challenge and going through all of that, like I literally, Chanel had the author, it was it wasn't
Author Summit,
what was it?
the Author Summit.
Yes, like the author summit. And I literally like I didn't even have a title then. I literally came up with a title like as soon as I got back, I think. So it was just a beautiful, beautiful experience all around.
Oh wow. Okay, audience, we have a few minutes where you can ask any questions that you may have of Miss Lindsay Walker, in regards to her book, her journey, her writing, where she is now. How are you doing today? We need to ask that question. How are you today?
I am doing amazing. God is just so good. He's so amazing. I'm healed. Of course, I still go to my doctor's appointments and all of that. I need to get back on my exercise, but um, all in all, I am doing extremely well, and I'm so grateful.
Wow, 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 wow. So you have the book, and we know that we can find it on Amazon and we can support you there. What products or services do you want to offer alongside your book for promoting purposes?
Yes. So, as you guys know, I am a publicist. So I work with brands to help them get into the media. And right now we have our unlimited laser coaching, where you can get unlimited coaching sessions with me from now until top of December. I believe it's like December 6th. And so, definitely if anyone has a question on that, you can reach out to me on Instagram. There's a link in my bio that will take you directly to that page where you can book your slot. We're going to go through, who you need to identify as your target audience within the media, how you can get featured in outlets like those you mentioned, the New York Times, Essence, Madame Noir, Success Magazine, so on and so forth, and like how you can craft out those messaging so that you can get the press to say yes over and over and over again.
Oh, how beautiful is that? And so, this is why those of you that are watching tonight should be a part of the Beyond the Book Media family. You should join the challenges, the book writing challenges, the boot camps that we have thereafter, and be a part of the team and be published by Beyond the Book Media, because there are so many different people that are a part of the journey, a part of the team, a part of the family that can help you get to that next level if that is where the Lord would have you. And so we want to really, really just celebrate Miss Lindsay on her book, celebrate her on overcoming. Thank you for thriving on behalf of so many of us. Thank you for your story on thriving. For those of us that need a little push or need to understand what it takes to push through whatever our storm may be. Thank you for being the vessel that was willing to go through it so that somebody else could understand the journey and push through it on their own or with the help of the Lord, if that is who they so choose. And so I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, you can support Lindsay and purchase her book on Amazon.com. The title of the book is Thriving Through the Storm. And she is an overcomer in so many areas. This particular book is about her overcoming stage 4 cancer at a young age. However, she's still here to tell the story, and she does it so well. But she has overcome in so many areas in her life, and we are truly excited that she is at the place that she is now. She is a brilliant boss, and she is doing wonderful things, major things in media and communication. And if you want to be the who's who and you want to know who knows who, you should get to know Miss Lindsay Walker. Lindsay, we really appreciate you on both KBN, on Clubhouse, and here. Thank you for joining our cousins and the family tonight. We really appreciate your time. Again, Amazon.com, thriving through the storm. This is Miss Lindsay Walker, and we are excited that she took the time to share her journey with us. We wish you all a wonderful evening, and we say God bless and good night. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.